KPEJ is the name of it.
Welcome to the Strenuous Life Radio,
I'll tell you
the podcast for men and women, leaders, entrepreneurs, and leaderpreneurs desiring to know the specialties and soft skills of the strenuous life.
This is episode 131. Captain Moroni rides again. Now picture this. He's sitting there in his tent. You know, drinking his apple wine or apple juice, however you want to put it. And all of a sudden, one of his assistants comes in and says, Captain Moroni, you got an important letter. So he takes a sip of his wine. And then what he does is he looks at the epistle. It's one of his commanders in the field, Helaman, with his, I think it was 10,000 Stripling Warriors. They ran into some trouble with those kingmen and Lamanites. Some of them were wounded, alright? Some of them were wounded. And so, to that extent, Moroni decides, okay, I know what I need to do. So he goes down there and send this is just my version of the story, because it's been a while since I read the war chapters. He sends his spies down there to check on Helaman's people. Sees that he sees that he triumphs over the kingmen and the Lamanites, but they're running low on supplies. So Moroni takes another sip of his drink. Takes a little, writes him a little letter. Basically saying to the chief judge, Pehorin, saying, look, this is what's going on. Helaman and his men have fought hard. A few of them have been wounded. None of them died. They're lucky. Because the thing is, what I learned in my letter is that those men didn't doubt that they would win because of how their mamas trained them. And so he writes this long letter, and he hands it over to the major at the door. I picture Captain Moroni be like a modern general. He hands it to his major to the door and says, hey, why don't you take one of our militiamen and ride down and see if you can deliver this to Pehorin. Now, I gotta say, it took a long time for Pehorin to contact them. At this point, Moroni is getting anxious. He takes it's been like, I don't know, a few weeks. He takes another sip of his drink, his tent, and he's writing a letter, and he is mad at Pehorin, very angry. Says if he don't come to the aid of his military, he's going to come and overthrow the government so he can defend the liberty of the Nephites. And Pehorin said, hey, I'm sorry about what's been going on, but we've been having them awful kingmen come against our capital city of Zarahemla. So Moroni, he's kind of like, okay, that's just my words and text. Y'all settle up. Get your swords, get your scimitars, get your spears, get your armor. Let's go. And that's the thing. They reached Zarahemla. Some of the Lamanite prisoner of wars escaped, and I believe that they took some prisoner of wars of their own. And so Captain Moroni once again had to fight. He once again had to fight. And when he had to fight, he had to do what he could to get rid of them kingmen, because Pehorin was the righteous judge, okay? Horton was a righteous judge. Obviously, I think he was trained by Alma before Alma disappeared. So, after a while, Horton said, hey, no hard feelings, Moroni. I can understand the situation you was in. Because the kingmen were coming against Zarahemla and some of our other cities. So Moroni said, okay, let's outsmart them. Let's gather all our people, one city. Fortify it. Have the bows and arrows and swords and scimitars at the top. When they come against us, get rid of them all. Now you're probably wondering, what does that have to do with entrepreneurship and the streamless life? Folks, we got a fight on our hands. Okay? Listen to me. We got an economy that could be teetering down again. No thanks to this devil virus. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, though. I ain't going to live in fear. Anything's possible. I ain't going to live in fear. And I know Jimmy ain't going to live in fear. Jimmy, what you got to say about it? I'm not going to live in fear. Because I have too much fear inside my head to cater to the news and live in fear. In fact, if you listen to some of the earlier episodes in July of this year of Empower Your Pattern, the Conquest of Truth series, you hear, especially in the first 3 episodes, my expose of the news media. Yes, they're part of our reactive culture. They're out there to spread fear. They're out there to, through drama, gossip and drama, spread comparison. The entertainment media, all right, Jimmy, I'm taking over. The entertainment media, the same way. The same way. I tell you something, back in the 1980s, movies and stuff were tame. And I'll tell you something, though. There was one movie that Daddy heard about. It was being disseminated all over the country. The American presidency in 1995. He was doing a small business administration job for Bill Clinton. And he wrote a letter to that producer because he was mad. He said, that is drama-filled and filth and just wrong to demonstrate to be able to disseminate among families. And I saw it 2 years later in my condo with my ex-wife, Kristen. And I told her, I said, look, you rip it to shreds, you do what you gotta do. I don't care, just get out of my house. She's like, why? She said, you have to say why? I take out a copy of Daddy's email to that producer. I said, that's why. I read her the deal because she was totally blind. I read her the copy, and she said, okay. So she left immediately via car service and gave it back to the owner. And then when she came back, I said, we ain't ever buying junk like that ever again. See, in a way, my daddy, once he began working with a small business government job with Bill Clinton, he began to go against Clinton and on his pro-business side. That's why Clinton fired him after the election in 1996. Now, okay, that's JR's story. We can't verify that it's true. But there are plenty of people out there that want to fight for the liberty of our country. Now you say, Jimmy, what does that have to do with entrepreneurship and leadership? Listen to me. You want to be able to own a business? Do you want to be out there, not just making money, but making a difference? Do you want to be out there, having solid assets and investments instead of having to rely on any form of government to just, protect me. That protect me stuff is wrong. Okay? It's wrong. So, I want you to understand that. Now, I hope you've enjoyed listening to Stringless Life Radio. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the Stringless Life Radio family. It's Jr Hendrick saying, don't just sit there and take it. You build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't, so you can do what others won't. And do what others don't, so you can have what others can't. And like my daddy always said, think strong, live strong, and live the stringless life. God bless you, you hear? Have a blessed day.